Gabrielle Union, the acclaimed 53-year-old American actress and model known for her captivating performances in films like Bad Boys 2 and Breaking In, recently opened up about a memorable and surprisingly down-to-earth encounter from her past. During an appearance at the Sailgate event sponsored by Dos Equis in Miami on a Monday in January, she sat down for an exclusive conversation with People magazine. The discussion naturally turned to how her personal and professional life has evolved over the years, particularly in terms of the remarkable people who have crossed her path. Among them, one name stands out prominently: former President Barack Obama and his family, including former First Lady Michelle Obama and their daughters, Malia and Sasha. Union reflected on how these connections feel almost surreal in hindsight, given the global stature the Obama family achieved. She emphasized that her interactions with them began long before the world knew them as the most famous political dynasty of the modern era. "I think because all of them, we've met them at different points in their lives when they weren't world famous," she explained thoughtfully. This perspective highlights a key theme in her recollection: the authenticity and humility that defined those early moments, far removed from the spotlight of the White House or international headlines. The heart of her story centers on the very first time she crossed paths with Barack Obama himself. It wasn't at a glamorous gala, a high-profile fundraiser, or any formal political gathering. Instead, it happened in the most ordinary, relatable setting imaginable: a casual potluck dinner at a friend's house in Los Angeles. At that time, Obama was serving as a junior senator from Illinois, still building his national profile after his inspiring keynote address at the 2004 Democratic National Convention. He wasn't yet the presidential candidate who would captivate the nation, let alone the leader of the free world. He was simply a guest who happened to be invited to this low-key gathering among friends. Union vividly remembered preparing for the event with the kind of practicality many people can relate to, especially during those earlier stages of their careers when budgets were tight and every dollar counted. She decided to contribute a classic dish to the potluck: tuna casserole. It's the sort of comfort food that evokes memories of family gatherings, church suppers, and neighborhood get-togethers: simple, hearty, and unpretentious. She admitted with a touch of humor and self-awareness that she didn't go all out with elaborate ingredients or extra effort. "I could have put a little extra time into this, but I was also on a budget," she quipped, underscoring the everyday reality of that period in her life. What makes the anecdote particularly charming is the detail that Obama not only attended but actually ate her tuna casserole. In her words, "He definitely ate my tuna casserole." There's a light-hearted pride in that statement, mixed with amusement at how the mundane act of sharing a home-cooked dish now carries such historical weight. Imagine the scene: a group of friends chatting casually over plates of various contributions, laughter filling the room, and a future president enjoying a scoop of tuna casserole made by an up-and-coming actress. It's a reminder that even the most extraordinary figures start in ordinary moments, connected through shared meals and simple hospitality. Union went on to reflect more deeply on the significance of that encounter. She noted that they met on very different terms compared to how people view those relationships today. Back then, it was just another social evening, unburdened by fame, protocol, or public scrutiny. "It looks more impressive now than I think it probably is," she admitted candidly. This humility resonates strongly, as it contrasts with the polished, larger-than-life images that dominate media coverage of celebrities and politicians alike. For Union, these grounded memories serve as grounding reminders of what truly matters in life: genuine connections, kindness, and the small acts of sharing that build lasting bonds. Expanding on this theme, one can appreciate how such stories humanize public figures. Barack Obama, who would go on to serve 2 terms as president, navigate complex global challenges, and inspire millions with his oratory and vision, was once just a senator accepting an invitation to a friend's potluck. Gabrielle Union, who has built a career portraying strong, multifaceted women on screen and advocating for important causes off-screen, was simply a participant in that same casual event, contributing what she could afford and prepare. The tuna casserole becomes a symbol of normalcy amid what would later become extraordinary trajectories. In the years since that potluck, Union's path has intersected with the Obamas in more formal settings, reflecting the growth in both their lives. Yet she cherishes these early, unassuming moments because they strip away the layers of celebrity and power, revealing the people behind the personas. It's a narrative that speaks to broader themes in American culture: the idea that anyone, regardless of background, can share space with future leaders in everyday settings, the value of humility and approachability, and the way personal stories can bridge divides. Union's willingness to share this lighthearted memory at an event like Sailgate shows her comfort in owning her journey, from budget-conscious dishes to red carpet confidence. This recollection also invites reflection on how we perceive fame and success. In an era where social media amplifies every interaction, stories like this remind us that many meaningful connections happen quietly, without fanfare or cameras. The potluck wasn't documented extensively, it was lived in the moment. Obama's enjoyment of the casserole wasn't a staged photo op, it was genuine. Union's preparation wasn't about impressing a VIP, it was about being a good guest. These elements combined to create an endearing snapshot of human interaction at its simplest.